Huda and her tired racist fans are back at it again. And as usual, Huda is acting oblivious to the mess going on. This comes after her and her silly little boyfriend, Lewis, were caught having the biggest giggle of their life after their fan attacked Olandria unprovoked. They've been at this ever since the last season of Love Island aired, and it looks like it's not going to end anytime soon. People were even more gagged by this foolishness because Huda and Lewis are literally black too, but they feel comfortable having white folks drag Olandria for filth on the internet because she's a dark-skinned woman. Now, for those of y'all who are somehow in the dark about what is happening, it all started with a live stream Huda and Lewis were doing a couple of days ago. While they were live streaming, one of Huda's questionable fans called in and made a racist remark about Olandria. Basically, the fan was calling Olandria the N-word. Mind you, this fan was white, so this was an immediate red flag. Now, you'd think that Huda and Lewis, who are both black, or at least partially black, would immediately call out the fan for this behavior. But guess what they did? They giggled. Yup. They actually found the joke so fun that they literally busted out laughing right after they heard what the person said.
Hello?
Baby, you might want to turn the light. Hello?
Whoa, hey.
Yo, I turned that shit off.
Hey.
Yo, what did they say? They said a bad word.
Now, of course, people were mad as hell about this and started rightfully dragging Huda and Lewis for their behavior. Olandria caught word of what was going on and also immediately jumped on Instagram to put out a statement calling out Huda for allowing this kind of behavior to slide. I do not condone racism of any kind, nor do I entertain it. That kind of language is never acceptable. Not in anger, not as a joke, not ever. Words like that carry generations of pain, and pretending otherwise only keeps the cycle going. Defending it, laughing about it, or making excuses is even worse. I will not let this moment derail my purpose of uplifting my community. While I anticipate this will result in surface-level apologies that fade in a few days, I'd like to transform this moment into something actionable. What's crazy is instead of Huda trifling herself to take accountability for her actions, she went on Instagram to accuse the people who were calling her out of being clout chasers. You can't make this up. Y'all, first of all, clickbait using a sensitive topic is actually insane. Me and Lewis did not hear what was said in that. No caller ID call on live. Only the racial slur, which we hung up immediately. Before I continue reading what she said, I know this girl ain't trying to gaslight us. Y'all watched that video too, and she definitely didn't hang up immediately. She and Lewis giggled for a while before hanging up. Anyway, she continued, I don't condone anything of the sort. Whoever called, purposely continuously called while we were live. I really don't condone racism, which is why it was immediately hung up. Once again, we did not hear it very well considering it sounded like a child. Only the last slur. I just wanted to address this before it blows out of proportion. Lewis also jumped in, only after he saw how heated things were getting, and baby. His response was just as bad as Huda's. He made the whole thing about himself, basically pushing the narrative that he can't be racist because he is a black man and has experienced his fair share of racism. Oh, so now he was to bring up being black. Boy, bye. Start off by saying, I don't condone no racism, but something happened on my live with a prank call and someone said something. A slur. And laughed then hung up because all I understood was the slur. But now finding out there was a name in front of it, but we didn't hear that. I just want to say that as much as people want to call me a clout chaser and all that BS, I really hate the Love Island fanbase, and as a black man who has experienced enough racism all my life, I don't even want to give the person that said the slur the satisfaction that they get from this. But I have to come here and said something because it wasn't what we heard.
Huda and Shelly both just released new statements on their IG stories regarding the drama around Olandria being called the slur on a live. For reference, this was Huda's first reference that she spoke on the matter. But in a recent story, she writes, last night I quickly posted a statement acknowledging my reaction to the racial slur that was said on Louis' livestream. I want to take this moment to more fully take accountability for my actions. Olandria, it is now clear that this comment was targeted at you, and I apologize for my immediate reaction. My reaction in that moment came from being caught off guard, not from finding the word or situation funny. It was a nervous, uncomfortable reaction that I recognize was inappropriate. I want to be clear that I do not condone or tolerate anyone who uses such language, and I strongly encourage the individual responsible to reflect deeply on their words and in the harm they've caused. She then followed that up by posting these 3 links to help support Black and marginalized communities. Shelly also finally decided to come out of hiding and give her 2 cents, saying seeing what happened with a former Love Island castmate and her partner laughing during a prank that call included a racist remark toward Olandria was disappointing to say the least. Racism isn't a prank, it's not entertainment, and it's definitely not something to laugh at. Let's not make light moments like these. That's a bigger message here. Use your voice and stand up for what's right, no matter the time, place, or who's watching. As always, love and peace. Huda's second accountability statement was perfect. She took accountability. She said sorry to Olandria straight to her face, put an at to it, period, point blank. Shelly, where have you been this whole time where your fans have been eating Olandria up for the past month? Oh, now you decide to come when Huda's the one as the main topic. Y'all are literally leeches, and it's showing.
Now, the reason people aren't buying the excuse Huda is selling is because this isn't the first time she allowed her racist fans to get a pass for coming for Olandria. If y'all remember, there were some shady things happening after episode 24 aired when Huda's fans racially attacked Olandria and Shelly for no reason after they did the heart rate challenge. During the challenge, Huda took things too far with Ace, even though she knew Shelly was going to feel away. After this episode aired, people obviously picked sides, with some people saying Huda had all the right to flirt with Ace since the rules of the challenge allowed it. Some of Huda's fans then took it a step further by leaving racist comments in both Shelly and Olandria's comments and DMs. And the reason they came for Olandria too is because she was standing behind Shelly when the entire thing went down. People even went as far as putting Olandria's face on George Floyd's body and sending those messages to Olandria. Olandria then reached out to Huda to address her racist fans, which Huda said she would. As you can already guess at this point, she absolutely didn't do that. Olandria even confronted Huda about this during the reunion, and this is the weak excuse she had to give.
But
Huda, why didn't you do the post that Olandria asked you to?
like I was dealing with so much outside of that. Like I didn't know what to say in that moment because I was dealing with so much. I wanted to address more than just that.
Truly wish you would have just prioritized that moment to just address the racism and the towards me and Shelly, since that was spewed out the most. That hurt, Huda.
I was getting hated on as well racially.
I get that, but your face was not plastered on George Floyd's body.
I didn't
Mine
even see
was.
that.
I told
That's the
you
other
that.
thing.
This was as a result.
It
I
was
don't
that
condone
bad.
that either. I don't condone
I
that either.
explained
Me
it in
addressing
the
bullying
airport like
is-
that. Like it's hurt. That hurt.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I didn't make the post.
I'm glad you've grown from it now, but that hurt, bro.
I'm really sorry.
We was close.
I'm really like truly.
And you didn't speak up for me.
Baby, it's a mess. And things only seem to be getting worse for Huda after all this, because after this controversy, she lost a lot of brand deals, including the huge deal she had with Huda Beauty. You'll know how these brands get with things like that. They don't waste any time dropping these celebrities once they mess up. And Huda's racism-enabling self learned that the hard way. Yes, ma'am. As usual, folks had their own thoughts, like this person who said, Huda and Louis are made for each other. They are the biggest losers. Ugh, I'm mad both of them are famous. Another person said, Huda needs to get off social media and get help. That girl has serious issues. She needs trauma therapy. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Olandria putting Huda on blast for her raging racism? And do y'all really think this is the end for Huda? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.